chosen one. This is not just another moment in time. This is not just another day on the calendar. This is not even just another night. No, this is the moment. Midnight opens a divine window, a supernatural gate between what you've been silently holding in your heart and the manifestation that's been assigned by heaven to meet you exactly where you are. You've been carrying prayers no one heard, wishes no one saw, burdens no one could understand. And yet, here you are, still standing, still believing, still waiting with faith so deep it has shaken the spiritual realm. And now, you're about to see why it had to take this long, why it had to be quiet, why you were not allowed to explain it to everyone. The manifestation of what you prayed for in private is about to unfold before the eyes of many. And chosen one, this midnight is not ordinary. It's charged with supernatural delivery. Before we go deeper into this sacred word for your spirit, stay with me until the end of this video, because as you hear each word, something within you will awaken. You'll recognize your story in this message, and write your warmest wish in the comments with the number 99. So the universe, the heavens, and your faith can combine in an explosion of divine power. This is more than a message. It's an activation, a surge of sacred energy flowing through your timeline right now. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's go forward. You've been misunderstood because your prayers weren't loud. They weren't posted on social media. They weren't screamed in desperation. But they were real. They were soaked in tears. They were built on faith, and that is what matters to God. When you were in your lowest place, when no one saw you, you still chose to believe. That silent moment when you looked up and whispered, "Please help me," carried more power than 1,000 words. That's what has reached the throne. This midnight hour carries an anointing for the unheard, for the forgotten, for the ones who gave up speaking about their dreams because they got tired of explaining themselves. This hour is for you, for the one who never stopped hoping in the dark. You have no idea the level of divine movement happening behind the scenes of your life. You may think nothing's changing, but tonight, this exact moment, is when the atmosphere starts bending in your favor. Spiritual contracts are being fulfilled. Prophetic alignments are shifting to place you where you belong. It's not that God forgot. It's that He was preparing the right moment. And now it's here. Let this settle into your soul. The things you whispered in the middle of the night. The things you didn't think you had the strength to believe in anymore. Those are the exact things coming into reality now. You are not forgotten. You were being reserved. While others were being seen, you were being hidden. Not because you weren't worthy, but because what's coming to you is too holy to be placed in front of the wrong audience. God had to wait until the hour of midnight, when noise quiets down, when distractions die, when truth is all that's left, to start the process of revealing what's been in the works for you this whole time. Some of you have been asking, why hasn't it happened yet? But what you didn't know is, it was happening, just not on your timeline. Your prayers didn't go unanswered. They were being stored, collected, layered one on top of the other, building pressure in the spirit until the moment was right for release. And that release? It begins now. At midnight, the veil between what is and what can be becomes thin. This is why spiritual breakthroughs are often born in this hour. This is when spiritual labor turns into delivery. Your soul has been laboring. You've carried the weight in silence. But now you are in the birthing hour. This is not the time to second-guess your path. This is not the time to backtrack or shrink. This is the hour to step forward, spiritually aware, emotionally ready, divinely aligned. Every unanswered prayer you've been keeping hidden, every silent hope you dared to keep alive, every dream you almost let go of, they are all being pulled into the light. But this is important. Your manifestation isn't just about you. It's about those who will witness it. And remember that silent prayers still reach heaven. That quiet faith still works. that God still honors the unseen. You are a sign, a living example of what it looks like when someone chooses to trust even when there's no evidence that things are moving. And now, the evidence is coming. Suddenly, the things you used to chase will start chasing you. Suddenly, the people who dismissed you will be confused about how you're being elevated. Suddenly, opportunities will knock, not because you networked, but because heaven made a decision on your behalf. This is a midnight of reversal. Where things were blocked, they will now be released. Where you were delayed, you'll now be accelerated. Where you were quiet, your results will speak. Stay focused. Don't let your past convince you that this isn't real. Don't let the doubts of others make you question your confirmation. You are not imagining this shift. You are feeling it. Deep in your bones, in your spirit, in your energy. Something has already begun to move. There is a reason this message found you today. There is a reason you were led to this video. There is a reason your heart is racing as you listen. Because this is your hour. This is your alignment. This is your turning point. You didn't need applause to qualify you. You didn't need a crowd to validate you. You didn't need anyone to understand the depth of your prayers. Because the one who heard you, the one who matters most, has already said yes. And now the yes is becoming visible. Keep walking in silence if you must, but walk with expectation. Keep moving, even if no one notices, because the one who matters sees everything. You've cried quietly, believed privately, but now the results will be public. What was hidden will now shine. What was covered will now glow. What was planted in tears is now rising in strength. Chosen one, if you only knew the magnitude of what is unfolding right now, you would fall to your knees in awe, not out of fear, but because of the overwhelming beauty of divine alignment at work in your favor. This is not a coincidence. This is not an accident. What's happening in this moment has been pre-written in the blueprint of your destiny. Every tear, every setback, every delay, it has all been divinely orchestrated to lead you to this sacred second. The midnight hour is sacred because it's when distractions sleep and the soul awakens. It's when the external noise dies down just enough for you to hear your inner knowing roar like thunder. And chosen one, your inner knowing has not been lying to you. You weren't crazy for believing, even when there was nothing to prove that your belief was valid. You weren't foolish to keep hoping when life kept handing you silence. That faith was fuel. It was laying the foundation for this very moment. Heaven heard you before you even formed the words. Heaven saw you when no one else did. And that's why your manifestation is so powerful. It's not built on performance. It's built on connection. Real, raw, spiritual connection between your soul and the divine. This is why you felt like you had to withdraw. This is why you've been spending more time alone lately. Because before God shows the world what He's about to do in your life, He had to first separate you from the noise, from the distractions, from the things that would have polluted this holy process. What's birthing now is too sacred to be tainted. That's why relationships fell apart. That's why some doors slammed shut. That's why certain people disappeared from your life without a goodbye. They were not part of your manifestation. They were only part of the journey that got you here. But the blessing, it's yours. The unveiling, it's yours. The reward for your silent endurance, it's already signed in heaven, and now it's shipping into your life through supernatural channels. This is a divine release, a spiritual exhale, a holy reward for holding on when you had every reason to let go. Midnight isn't just about the time on the clock. It's a spiritual zone, a portal of breakthrough where time folds and miracles slip through. And chosen one, you are currently standing in that portal. That's why you feel the trembling inside. That's why everything feels so intense right now. It's not anxiety, it's activation. Something inside of you is waking up. Something that had been dormant is coming alive. That inner part of you, the part that knew you were meant for more, is rising to the surface because the more you felt in your spirit is finally arriving. This is a holy reversal. Everything that was withheld will now flow. Everything that was delayed will now move with speed. Everything that was denied will now be offered with open hands. And here's what's wild. Your manifestation isn't coming through the channels you expected. It's not coming through who you thought it would. This is coming from divine places, from sources so unexpected. You'll know without a doubt that it was never about your effort. It was about your alignment. You are in divine alignment now. Your thoughts are clearer. Your spirit is more focused. Your energy is sharper. And that's because this is your appointed time. The clock struck midnight and something shifted. You may not have seen it with your eyes, but your spirit felt it. The balance tilted. The flow changed. What used to be stuck has started to move. What used to feel heavy is now being lifted. This is your hour of ease. You've labored long enough. You've fought hard enough. You've prayed deep enough. Now it's time for the supernatural current to carry you forward. Your silent prayers were not in vain. Your quiet moments of surrender were not overlooked. The universe has recorded every one of them. And now, with divine precision, it is time for them to manifest into visible, undeniable reality. Don't resist the change. Don't fear the shift. Don't overthink the blessing. You don't need to understand how. You just need to know who. And the one who controls the times and seasons has declared this moment as your midnight miracle. Chosen one, you're walking into overflow. Quietly, confidently, and divinely guided. The things you let go of will be replaced. The love you thought was lost will be restored in higher form. The money you didn't have will now multiply with grace. The strength you begged for is now flowing through you without effort. You will begin to notice something strange. Your energy will be calmer, yet more powerful. Your presence will become magnetic. People will start being drawn to you without knowing why. That's because your spirit is radiating answered prayers. The frequency of your soul has changed. You are no longer waiting. You are receiving. You are no longer seeking. You are aligned. You are no longer surviving. You are thriving. And it's not because you forced it. It's because you surrendered. And in that surrender, you were met with the divine flow that had your name written on it from the beginning. This is what happens when a chosen one makes it through the night of struggle and wakes up in the light of manifestation. You didn't need to shout to be heard. You didn't need to prove your worth. You didn't need to push doors open. You simply needed to stay in position. And that's exactly what you did. You stayed grounded. You stayed faithful. You stayed open. And now, the universe is saying, it's your time. So breathe it in. Let the energy of answered prayers wrap around you like a cloak. Walk like you've already received it. Talk like you've already arrived. Live like the prayer has already manifested, because it has. This is not preparation. This is arrival. And chosen one, the next chapters of your life will reflect everything you whispered in the dark. Your silence wasn't weakness. It was a sign of sacred preparation. And now, everything silent is being translated into sound, into vision, into reality. You are standing at the threshold of everything you thought was too big to ask for. But heaven says, you didn't ask for too much. You didn't dream too big. You didn't believe in vain. You believed right on time. And this midnight is proof. Chosen one. What you're experiencing now is not just a season. It's a spiritual coronation. A divine moment where the universe shifts to honor the unseen work you've done in secret. You see, the world rewards noise. The world rewards visibility. But heaven rewards alignment, surrender, and spiritual maturity. And you've demonstrated all of that in the unseen hours of your life. Midnight is not just when the day changes. It's when destinies change. It's when things transition from what was to what is becoming. And right now, Your life is being rewritten. Right now, heaven is removing labels that people put on you. Labels like failure, too late, not enough, forgotten. No, chosen one, you are none of those things. You are appointed. You are seen. You are activated. There's a reason your prayers felt ignored for so long. They weren't ignored. They were being answered slowly. Not because of punishment, but because what you were asking for required divine orchestration. Some of your prayers were asking God to shift systems, to move people, to prepare environments. And you couldn't be given the blessing until the entire framework was secure. And now, it is. That's why, without explanation, things are clicking into place. That's why people are reaching out of nowhere. That's why opportunities are resurfacing. That's why money is finding you through unexpected channels. This isn't random. It's not luck. It's divine response. Midnight has called your name, and your angels are moving in silence. Assignments are being completed on your behalf, without your effort, without your awareness. All because you passed the test of time, the test of silence, the test of solitude. And now you are stepping into the divine harvest. Understand this. The manifestation of your prayers is not just about getting what you asked for. It's about becoming who you're destined to be. That's why it felt like your life was breaking apart. Because it had to break open. It had to break wide enough to hold what you're about to receive. You asked for peace, and so chaos had to surface to be removed. You asked for prosperity, and so poverty had to be confronted and broken. You asked for love, and so betrayal had to come to light to clear the way. You asked for purpose, and so everything that was out of alignment had to collapse. It didn't fall apart because you were cursed. It fell apart because your prayer shifted the structure. And now that the old has been cleared, the new is arriving. Clean, blessed, supernaturally aligned. You're not behind. You're not off track. You're exactly where you need to be. Because only now are you ready to receive the version of the blessing that's been prepared for you. Not a rushed version, not a filtered version, but the version that carries your name and your reward. Chosen one. This is why you felt so different lately. Your spirit has been sensing the drop of glory into your reality. You've been waking up at odd hours. You've been having vivid dreams. You've been feeling waves of emotion that don't even make sense. That's because your body, your energy, your mind, they're all preparing for this shift. The midnight frequency is not gentle, it's powerful. It cleanses, it opens portals. And when you're in tune with it, as you are now, you feel the coming shift before it lands. So don't run from the intensity. Don't numb the emotion. Don't brush it off. Lean into it. This is the frequency of fulfillment. This is what manifestation feels like right before it becomes physical. You're standing in the in-between. Not quite where you were, but not quite where you're going. And that's okay. That's holy ground. That's the sacred pause before the explosion of breakthrough. You don't need to do anything to speed it up. You don't need to earn it anymore. You just need to hold space for it. Receive it. Embrace it. Because tonight, yes, this midnight, the gate is opening. And once it opens, what's meant for you will not be held back. Not by man, not by fear, not by delay, not by anything. The moment your spirit aligns with the promise, the delivery begins. You've done that. You've shown up every day, even in confusion. You've loved even after betrayal. You've prayed even after silence. You've moved forward even with a heavy heart. And now your spirit has reached the perfect frequency. The signal has been received. And the response? It's already in motion. You're about to see confirmation in the small details. You'll hear your promise repeated in songs, in conversations, in numbers, in dreams. You'll feel divine timing wrapping around you like warm light. You'll find yourself at the right place, at the right time, without even trying. This is not you figuring it out. This is God carrying you forward. This is destiny at work. This is fulfillment in real time. You asked, and now it is arriving. You dreamed, and now it is awakening. You believed, and now it is manifesting. This is a divine takeover, a holy unfolding, an unseen contract being honored, a spiritual system rearranged for your sake. And you did not miss it. You didn't mess it up. You didn't fail the test. You are right on time. You are in divine rhythm. And from this moment on, nothing will ever be the same. You are no longer waiting for the shift. You are the shift. Chosen one, now that the shift has started, now that the gate of midnight has opened to your favor, your entire spiritual landscape is transforming, and with it, your identity is being upgraded. You are no longer the one merely hoping. Now, you are the one receiving. You're not at the edge anymore. You're in the center of divine movement. You are no longer begging the universe for signs. Now, the universe is signaling back to you. And the shift is so deep, so real, so complete, that even you won't recognize yourself 6 weeks from now. The version of you that prayed in the dark is not the same version that's stepping into the light. Because those silent prayers didn't just unlock blessings, they evolved your spirit. They matured your heart. They fortified your soul. This transformation didn't come easy, but it was worth every tear, every silent night, every lonely moment. You're walking into your divine recompense. Let that sink in. Recompense. You are about to be paid back in divine currency for all the emotional, mental, spiritual, and even physical sacrifices you made. This is not just about money, though financial overflow is certainly part of it. This is about restoration. Restoration of your identity, of your energy, of your clarity, of your joy. Your silent prayers were powerful not because they were loud, but because they were pure. You didn't pray with bitterness in your heart. You didn't pray just to get revenge. You didn't pray for someone else's downfall. You prayed for healing. You prayed for peace. You prayed for truth. And heaven rewards truth. That's why this manifestation is so potent. Because it's not just about surface blessings. This is a soul-level reward. A supernatural recalibration of everything that was stolen, delayed, or distorted. This is what it feels like when God breathes favor into your reality. And now, you're about to become undeniable. People who once doubted you will feel confused by your rise. People who ignored you will wonder why doors are opening only for you. People who dismissed your silent seasons will now see the results you were cultivating in the dark. But here's the key. Don't get distracted by them. Don't look back. Don't waste energy trying to explain how this happened. Don't dilute the divine process by trying to make others understand what was only meant for you. This is your time to walk forward, to rise without apology, to step into your answered prayer with full awareness that you were always chosen for this. This was never about proving your worth. It was about accepting your divine assignment. And you did. And now? Now the universe is matching your vibration. You've been walking in alignment for months, maybe even years, without realizing it. You've been shedding what no longer serves you. You've been guided to rest when you didn't want to. You've been called to move when it made no sense. You've been nudged to let go of what was draining your frequency. And now the results are here. The divine echo is responding back. And this is how you'll know the manifestation is real. You'll feel light. Things will feel effortless. Doors will open that you didn't knock on. People will come to bless you without knowing why. You will suddenly be reminded of a prayer you made in pain 5 years ago and realize it just arrived. This is the type of manifestation that carries confirmation. You won't have to force it. You won't have to question it. You won't have to beg for it to stay. It will simply belong to you. And it will stay because it matches your new spiritual frequency. Midnight is where the old ends and the divine begins. This is where your spirit leaps ahead of your logic. This is where the plans you had are replaced by the miracles God designed. This is where you are called up, not just out. You are not being rescued. You are being revealed. The real you, the chosen you, the aligned you. That's why the people who knew the old version of you may feel uncomfortable around the new version. That's not your problem. That's their invitation to evolve. You are not here to shrink. You are not here to make yourself easier to understand. You are here to become. You are here to live the reality that your silent prayers called forth. Chosen one, midnight has marked you, not with fear, but with fire, not with confusion, but with clarity, not with loneliness, but with limitless love and light. You are not at the end. You are at the beginning. The spiritual infrastructure around you is rising to a new level. Your dreams are no longer waiting in the wings. They are stepping onto the stage. Your angels are no longer in battle. They are in celebration. The war over your soul is ending. The favor over your life is expanding. And from this moment forward, you are not trying to get blessed. You are the blessing. You are walking, breathing, living proof of what happens when someone dares to believe in silence. So don't be surprised when the spotlight finds you. Don't be surprised when strangers speak your name in rooms you've never entered. Don't be shocked when people begin to ask for your guidance, your insight, your voice. Because your manifestation is not just for you, it's for everyone watching you. They're watching to see if silent prayers actually work. And you, chosen one, are about to be the answer. Chosen one. Now that your manifestation is in motion, you must understand something sacred. This isn't just about receiving, it's about sustaining. You're no longer the one who simply hopes. You are now the one heaven trusts to carry what others abandoned. The midnight activation you've stepped into carries with it both blessing and responsibility. But don't be afraid, because the same divine force that delivered it to you is also equipping you to carry it. You've walked through spiritual warfare not just for survival, but to be trained. Those lonely nights, they weren't empty, they were classrooms. Those silent prayers, they weren't wasted, they were seed. And now the fruit of everything planted in pain is ready to be harvested in peace. There's a reason the manifestation had to wait until now. You needed time to become stable, not just spiritually, but emotionally and mentally. If this blessing had come too early, it would have overwhelmed you. But now you're not chasing it. It's meeting you on your level. That's the power of divine timing. It doesn't give you what you're begging for. It gives you what your spirit is ready to handle. And now, you are ready. You are spiritually mature. You are emotionally grounded. You are energetically aligned. And this is the version of you that will not only receive the blessing, but protect it, honor it, and multiply it. The universe doesn't just respond to prayer. It responds to preparation. And now, everything about you has shifted to prepared. Your mind has been decluttered. Your soul has been detoxed. Your energy has been recalibrated. You are no longer operating from survival mode. You are flowing from divine embodiment. That's why you'll notice things feel lighter now. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. The blessing hasn't made you dependent. It has made you sovereign. You no longer need external validation to know you're walking the right path. You no longer require signs to keep believing. You no longer ask how with fear in your voice. You know the how is not your job. Your job is the yes. And you've already said yes. Now the delivery follows. And make no mistake, this isn't just about one answered prayer. This is a domino effect, a divine chain reaction. One breakthrough will open the next. One connection will unlock the next. One yes will trigger a flood of divine appointments. You're about to enter into a rapid acceleration. Things that once took years will happen in weeks. People you once tried to reach will now seek you out. Resources you used to chase will flow to you freely. This is what it looks like when heaven supports your steps. This is what it feels like when your timeline is no longer governed by delay, but by divine momentum. And in this momentum, you must remember, stay centered. Because favor will find you fast, but peace is what keeps you stable. Don't let the blessing become a burden by overthinking it. Don't question if you're worthy of what's arriving. Don't sabotage the manifestation by trying to explain it to people who are not spiritually qualified to understand it. This season is for you, sacred, consecrated, customized by the divine. Chosen one, there is now an aura around you, a glow, a spiritual atmosphere that confirms. This one carries something sacred. People will sense it before they even hear you speak. They will feel the shift before they even see the fruit. And this is not about ego. This is about essence. You are no longer just a person. You are a frequency. You are carrying the sound of fulfillment, the vibration of answered prayers, the rhythm of divine alignment. And because of that, you will draw certain things toward you naturally. Clarity will follow you. Favor will surround you. Peace will protect you. Miracles will recognize you, all because of what happened in silence. Your silent prayers created spiritual architecture that now supports your new life. While others built things with noise, you built something with depth. While others showed off their journey, you became unshakable in your faith. And now your results will speak louder than your words ever could. This is your quiet rise, your sacred elevation, your divine comeback. This is what it looks like when the tables turn, and you didn't have to lift a single finger in revenge. You simply stayed faithful, and the universe reordered everything for your sake. You will start to notice how people respond to you differently. They won't know why they're drawn to you, but they will be. Your presence will feel healing. Your words will feel prophetic. Your energy will feel like home. That's because you are now carrying the residue of heaven. You're not just walking into rooms. You're shifting the energy in those rooms. You're not just having conversations. You're speaking in divine timing. You're not just making decisions. You're executing divine strategy. And all of this? It's the result of every time you sat in silence and chose faith over fear. The midnight manifestation you've entered is more than a gift. It's a sign, a declaration from the divine that says, this one can be trusted. And now, the blessings are not just flowing to you, they're flowing through you. You've become a conduit, a carrier of grace, a vessel of supernatural possibility. You will not have to strive for this. You will not have to explain this. You will simply live this, authentically, boldly, beautifully. And others will look at you and realize, silent prayers. Work. You are the evidence. Chosen one. Tonight is no ordinary night. This isn't a moment passing by without meaning. It is a divine checkpoint, a sacred time encoded with breakthrough, change, and powerful spiritual activation. Everything you've endured, every storm you've passed through, every tear you've cried, it's all been leading up to this very moment. This is not just another evening on the calendar. This is a transformation appointment written in the heavens. As you listen to this message, stay with me until the very end. Let the words enter your spirit, let the energy rise, and let your alignment with your higher path become unshakable. And write your warmest, most heartfelt wishes in the comments. Speak them out loud into the universe and seal them with 99. This is your symbolic signal that something divine is being released over your life tonight. Wishes come true when you believe, when you declare, and when you connect with the higher realm in full faith. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and listen, because what is about to be said is not random. It's a direct transmission to your soul. Chosen one, tonight you will receive a transformation so powerful that it will be undeniable. This shift isn't minor. This is the moment you've been praying for, consciously or unconsciously. The spiritual energy around you is heavy with purpose, and your name is echoing in unseen realms. You may not even feel ready, but readiness is not a prerequisite for divine timing. Obedience and faith are. And tonight, those two forces collide with favor in your life. You see, transformation is rarely gentle. It shakes, it presses, it tests you. But it is also the greatest honor. Because God doesn't transform the ordinary. He transforms the called, the chosen, the ones marked with light. You've been walking a path not everyone could endure. And tonight, that endurance pays off. Tonight, the veil over your next chapter is lifting. You've likely felt something in the atmosphere already. Uneasiness, a sense of anticipation, strange occurrences, broken sleep patterns, a sudden emotional purge. Don't ignore these signs. They are signals from the divine realm, letting you know that the old cycle is shutting down. The energy of what was is making space for what is to come. And what is coming, chosen one, is not small. It's revolutionary. It's wealth level. It's peace level. It's identity shifting. And it begins tonight. Some of you have been in survival mode far too long. You've gotten used to delay. You've become numb to hope. But the Creator is saying, no more delay, no more waiting, no more being stuck in the preparation room. Tonight, your assignment is being activated. Your transformation will realign everything around you. People, opportunities, even time itself. You're not watching this by accident. In fact, this message was assigned to your timeline before you even knew you needed it. It was stored for this exact hour because this hour is sacred. Something massive is about to take place in the spiritual realm concerning your future. And when it manifests, it won't just be something you feel. It will be something the world sees. Your aura is changing. Your energy field is expanding. Your spiritual rank is being elevated. You may have walked into today unnoticed, underestimated, or unrecognized. But after this transformation, people will begin to sense your power before you even speak. Doors that were locked for years will begin to swing open. Conversations you were left out of will now center around you. The divine spotlight is shifting, and it's resting on your life. But here's the truth that many overlook. Transformation requires surrender. You cannot hold on to your old identity and expect to evolve. Tonight, you're being called to lay down the pain, the questions, the self-doubt, the fear, and step fully into your divine identity. The old version of you is dissolving so that the real you, the chosen, empowered, and destined version, can rise without resistance. You're going to notice something else too. After tonight, your discernment will increase. You'll begin to see people for who they really are. You'll notice who carries light and who carries disruption. This isn't to scare you, it's to protect you. Because the level you're about to walk into requires divine clarity. Not everyone can go with you, and you'll be shown who and what must be left behind. Don't be afraid of this separation. It is necessary. God doesn't take anything without replacing it with better. Anything removed is only making room for what aligns. You are being positioned in such a way that what is meant for you will come without force. The new version of you will attract new blessings automatically. Why? Because transformation upgrades your frequency, and your frequency decides your favor. So tonight, don't just listen to these words. Absorb them. Let them echo in your soul as confirmation that you are being elevated right now. Something is shifting in your favor. Behind the scenes, angels are moving. Invisible battles are being won. Contracts in the spirit realm are being signed. And the name on those contracts is yours. The shift has already started, even if you can't see it yet with your physical eyes. The spiritual machinery is in motion, and your life is being restructured in real time. What used to feel stagnant is gaining momentum. What felt blocked is being cleared. What seemed impossible is becoming your new reality. And this is just the beginning. Chosen one, your transformation tonight is not about adding something new to your life. It's about awakening what's already been planted inside of you. You were born with purpose, encoded with divine DNA. You didn't stumble into this moment. You were led here, handpicked, marked, watched over. Every trial you faced, every tear you shed, every betrayal you endured was part of the divine preparation. You weren't being punished. You were being refined. That refinement ends now. The process has fulfilled its purpose. Tonight, the gold of who you are is coming to the surface. No longer will your gifts remain hidden. No longer will your greatness be dimmed. The cloak is being removed. The true you is stepping forward. You may have questioned yourself in the past. You may have looked at others rising while you remained overlooked. But here's what you didn't know. God was storing your moment for a perfect time. And that time is now. While others were seen, you were being sealed. While others were being applauded, you were being anointed. Heaven was preparing a moment so explosive for your life that when it happens, there will be no doubt who sent the blessing. Your name is rising in rooms your feet haven't entered yet. People are being instructed to remember you, to bless you, to open doors for you. And when they do, it will feel sudden, but you'll know it wasn't. It was always divine timing. It was always written to happen now. Transformation doesn't just change your surroundings. It changes how the universe responds to you. The vibration you carry shifts. Suddenly, people treat you with new respect. Opportunities flow easier. Things you used to chase now chase you. Because transformation upgrades your authority. You stop begging and start commanding. You stop doubting and start declaring. You stop shrinking and start standing tall in who you really are. This level isn't for the weak-willed, but you, chosen one, were never weak. You just forgot your power while surviving the storm. But now the storm has passed. The clouds are parting. The energy is lifting. And you, yes you, are walking out of the fire with a glow this world has never seen before. Don't be surprised when everything starts accelerating. Time is about to speed up for you. Manifestations will come quickly. Prayers will be answered without delay. Solutions will appear almost instantly. Why? Because transformation puts you into alignment, and alignment removes friction. It brings you into the flow of divine timing, where everything falls into place because it must. You may even begin to feel disoriented in the best way possible. People will say, "You've changed," and you'll smile because you have. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more certain. The heaviness will be gone. The confusion will be replaced with vision. The doubt will bow to confidence. You'll walk differently, think differently, attract differently, and most of all, you'll no longer fear what's ahead. Because something deep inside you will whisper, "I was made for this." The fear that once paralyzed you is being replaced with courage. The anxiety that kept you up at night is dissolving in the fire of your rising. You are being filled with divine boldness, not arrogance, anointed confidence, a knowing that you are covered, chosen, called. As this transformation settles into your spirit, you'll also begin to notice supernatural guidance all around you. Coincidences will multiply. Synchronicities will shout your name. Doors will open without a knock. You'll meet the right people at the right time. You'll say the right thing without rehearsal. Because your steps will be ordered, not by chance, but by calling. And calling, chosen one, is what you've been carrying all along. It's why you didn't fit in. It's why you felt different. It's why the old life stopped feeling comfortable. Because you weren't made to settle. You were made to shift atmospheres. You were made to lead, not follow. You were made to break barriers, not blend in. Let tonight be your declaration. Let tonight be the line in the sand. You are no longer the version of yourself that tolerated pain just to be accepted. You are no longer the version that dimmed your light to make others comfortable. You are no longer the version that questioned your own value. That version has been retired. This new version, this transformed version, walks in wisdom, commands the atmosphere, knows when to speak and when to be still. This version doesn't beg for crumbs. It multiplies resources. This version doesn't chase validation. It walks with favor. This version has clarity, peace, power, and a divine inheritance ready to be claimed, and you will claim it. You will walk into rooms designed for your gifts. You will be met with honor where you once faced rejection. You will be offered positions, partnerships, and provisions you once only dreamed of. And none of it will be accidental. All of it will be the result of this divine transformation, set in motion tonight. And now, chosen one, we go even deeper. This transformation that has begun in your life tonight is not surface level. It is not temporary. This is not a motivational wave that fades when the day ends. It is a restructuring of your spirit, a rewiring of your destiny, a supernatural unfolding that is here to stay. You are being shaped into someone unshakable, someone who cannot be moved by external chaos, someone whose mind is stable, whose faith is immovable, and whose energy is protected. The most powerful part of what is happening tonight is that you are not just receiving a blessing, you are becoming the blessing. Your presence will begin to alter the room. People will sense peace when you enter. Answers will flow through your voice. Healing will manifest in your silence. You will embody something so pure, so rare, that even your enemies will feel confused by the light that surrounds you. What's happening to you is sacred. Heaven is setting you apart. Not because you're better than others, but because your calling requires more. You were chosen to carry a light that few are willing to protect. You were chosen to rise where others stayed comfortable. You were chosen to lead in a time where many are still asleep. And now, that leadership is being activated in you. Expect your vision to become crystal clear. The confusion that once kept you stuck is gone. You're not just going to see what needs to happen. You'll know how to make it happen. And as you move in obedience to this new insight, doors will unlock without force. That's the beauty of divine transformation. It shifts the entire atmosphere to favor your arrival. And not just favor it, prepare for it. There are people right now arranging what you'll soon walk into. There are conversations being had about your gifts. Your name is echoing in hearts. The universe is arranging synchronicities, signs, and setups all in your favor. Because you are no longer in hiding. Your time of preparation is over. Your emergence begins now. Don't worry if things around you still look the same at first. Transformation always starts in the unseen, but soon, the internal change will demand external alignment. Your surroundings will begin to reflect your new frequency. Relationships that once drained you will fall away effortlessly. Habits that used to chain you will lose their grip. Even your environment may shift. New locations, new opportunities, new divine appointments. You'll find yourself being drawn to spaces you never expected, saying yes to things that once scared you, and walking boldly into what once felt too big for you. But you'll realize it's not too big. It's exactly your size now. Because you've grown. You've expanded. Your container has increased. And now you are able to receive more, handle more, steward more. Don't shrink. Don't explain. Don't apologize. This transformation is a divine promotion. You didn't ask for it. Your spirit earned it. Your obedience made space for it. Your perseverance through pain qualified you for it. And now it's being released in full measure. Abundance will follow this shift. But not just abundance in money. Abundance in ideas, peace, energy, creativity, and clarity. You're going to begin building things you once only dreamed of. And the most beautiful part? You're going to enjoy the process. No more striving. No more hustling from an anxious place. You will move in ease. You will build with flow. Because this is not a grind. This is a divine assignment, and heaven is your supplier. Even the way you speak will change. You'll find your words carrying more weight. Your silence will say more than your explanations. People will listen differently. They will feel something shift in them when they're near you, not because of anything external, but because of the internal alignment you've achieved through this sacred transformation. And don't be surprised when opposition rises. When your light gets brighter, shadows will react. But you're not the same person anymore. The battles that used to shake you will no longer move you. You will face conflict with wisdom, and you will discern what to confront and what to walk away from. Peace is your new compass. Clarity is your new weapon. You're stepping into a season of divine reversal. Places where you were once rejected, you will now be celebrated. Situations that once drained you will now empower you. The people who ignored you will soon inquire about you, and you won't even need to explain. They will simply know something powerful has happened in your life. Chosen one, this transformation was necessary because of what's ahead. You are being prepared to receive things you prayed for years ago. And the only reason they were delayed is because the version of you at that time wasn't ready to sustain the blessing. But now you are. Now you can handle it. Now you carry the wisdom, the grounding, the spiritual maturity to thrive under the weight of your own greatness. Let this truth sink in. You will not go back. You will not regress. You will not dim your light ever again. The days of shrinking to make others comfortable are done. The days of second-guessing yourself are over. You are walking into a new chapter, and this one is written in power, in clarity, in full alignment with the highest version of you. Tonight, you are being crowned with purpose. You are being wrapped in divine protection. You are being released into a new dimension, and the ripple effect of this moment will touch generations. Your transformation is not just for you. It is for everyone connected to your destiny. You are the shift. You are the change. You are the miracle that others have been praying for. And now, chosen one, we step into the fire of purpose without fear, because you've already been forged in it. Everything you've walked through has brought you to this exact vibration, this exact alignment, this exact hour. This is the activation you've been unknowingly preparing for your entire life. You've been built for this. You've been prepared for this. And now, you're walking boldly into the divine reality that has always belonged to you. Tonight marks the end of confusion and the beginning of revelation. You no longer have to guess what your next move is. The transformation you're receiving is unlocking clarity on a supernatural level. Suddenly, what felt cloudy will become clear. What once felt like wandering will now feel like precision. The fog is lifting. The way is opening. This isn't just a mindset shift. This is a soul shift. You are being brought into alignment with your divine coordinates, those sacred directions encoded in your spirit before birth. This is why you felt restless. This is why you couldn't settle for a normal life. Because something deeper has always been calling you forward. You've always known that you were meant for something rare, something sacred, something royal. And now, the crown is descending. Not a crown of ego, but a crown of purpose. One that cannot be bought. One that only the chosen receive. One that glows with the fire of destiny and spiritual authority. You've been underestimated because people saw your process. But they didn't know it was a cocoon, not a prison. They didn't know you were being rebuilt, not broken. And now, when they see you emerge, they will witness what divine transformation truly looks like. Chosen one, what's coming next is acceleration beyond logic. What used to take months will happen in weeks. What used to take years will show up in days. You are stepping into an accelerated timeline because you've entered divine agreement. When your heart aligns with heaven's plan, the universe bends to obey it. You no longer have to force what's meant for you. It will find you. It will seek you. It will bow to the frequency you carry now. And don't be surprised when your desires start to change. As this transformation unfolds, you'll no longer crave validation from the outside. You'll be driven by vision, not ego. You'll be fueled by purpose, not performance. You'll no longer need to explain yourself, because your fruit will speak for you. Your results will do the talking. Your presence will say enough. People who once overlooked you will begin to take notice. But not everyone will celebrate your rise. And that's okay. Elevation exposes intentions. When your light grows, it disrupts anything fake or manipulative in your circle. But you won't need to react. You'll discern, you'll distance, you'll protect your peace, because your peace is now non-negotiable. That's one of the greatest gifts of this transformation. Emotional maturity. You won't waste energy on battles that are beneath your calling. You won't seek closure from people who aren't aligned. You'll know what to walk away from without drama. You'll operate from wisdom, and you'll stay rooted in truth. The high places you're being called to require that kind of clarity. And chosen one, let's talk about energy. Your energy is about to be your greatest asset. As this new dimension of you activates, you'll notice that your energy shifts entire rooms. You'll become magnetic, not because you're trying, but because you've become aligned. People will feel something around you that they can't explain. They'll feel healed just by being in your presence, inspired just by hearing your voice, empowered just by watching you move in purpose. This isn't manipulation. It's not performance. It's your essence. It's the divine resonance of someone who has been transformed from the inside out. And the deeper truth, this version of you was always there. It just needed to be unlocked. That's what tonight is doing. It's unlocking what was buried under trauma, fear, guilt, comparison, doubt, and disappointment. It's peeling back every false layer, every lie you believed, every limitation that kept you small, and what's being revealed is powerful beyond words. You may cry. You may feel emotional. You may feel overwhelmed with a sensation that something massive is occurring in you, and it is. That's not in your imagination. That's spiritual confirmation. You're being recalibrated. You're being reawakened. You're being reignited. You will no longer ask, "What is my purpose?" Because now you'll feel it in your bones. You'll feel it when you wake up. You'll feel it when you speak. You'll feel it when you stand still and realize, "I was built for this." You are no longer waiting for permission. You are no longer waiting for someone to validate what God has already approved. You are no longer looking outward for answers that were always within. You are now in full possession of your identity, your purpose, your power. And everything you touch from this point forward will carry that same anointing. Your words will be laced with authority. Your ideas will be saturated in vision. Your business will begin to prosper. Your relationships will begin to align. Your body will begin to heal. Why? Because divine transformation doesn't come to visit. It comes to take root. You are not who you were. You will never go back to that version. That chapter is closed. That page has turned. And now you are writing the next part of your life with intention, clarity, power, and grace. Chosen one. You are now in the territory of divine momentum. The energy surrounding your life has dramatically shifted. This transformation has elevated you to a spiritual altitude where turbulence can no longer disturb your direction. You are not merely moving forward. You are soaring. You are flying above the limitations that once held you down. You are ascending beyond the reach of fear, lack, and self-doubt. From this height, everything looks different. The mountains that once looked massive now appear small. The obstacles that used to intimidate you have lost their power. Why? Because you've outgrown them. You've evolved beyond them. And more importantly, you've remembered who you are. This isn't about becoming someone new. This is about awakening to the divine being you've always been. Let this sink in. You are not chasing destiny anymore. You're standing in it. Your feet are now planted in purpose. Every step you take from here is intentional. Every move you make is directed by divine intelligence. Your intuition has become sharper. Your perception has become deeper. You no longer need to search for signs. They appear to you constantly because your eyes have been opened. This is what happens when transformation reaches your soul. Your spirit begins to lead. You don't second-guess your alignment anymore. You don't ask the world for directions because your compass is internal. You wake up knowing what to do, when to move, and how to respond. Not because you're guessing, but because you're guided. And in this guidance, you begin to walk with ease. No more striving, no more forcing, no more begging for things to work out. From now on, things will flow. Because you are flowing in divine order. You're operating from overflow. Your well isn't dry anymore. Your light is fully restored. And this glow, this fire, this supernatural aura you carry now, it's real. It's potent. It's felt. The people around you will begin to notice something has changed. They'll say you sound different. They'll say your presence feels stronger. They'll say your silence carries more power than your old explanations. And they'll be right. Because when you've been transformed, you don't just speak differently, you exist differently. You operate from a frequency that cannot be faked. It's magnetic. It's undeniable. And most of all, it's contagious. Your transformation will inspire others without you even trying. Just your existence in this new vibration will cause others to rise. You become a mirror for what's possible. But understand this, chosen one. There will also be resistance. Not everyone will celebrate your rise. Not everyone will understand your evolution. Some people liked the version of you that stayed quiet, stayed small, stayed insecure. They were comfortable with your confusion. They benefited from your dimmed light. But now that you are shining, standing, walking in purpose, they're unsettled. That is not your problem. Do not shrink for their comfort. Do not apologize for your transformation. You paid a price they didn't see. You endured nights they couldn't survive. You walked through fires that would have burned them to ash. So your rise is not arrogance. It's evidence. Evidence of survival. Evidence of resilience. Evidence that the hand of God has been on your life all along. And now, the rewards are arriving. Watch how your finances begin to respond to this new version of you. You'll attract opportunities with ease. You'll magnetize prosperity without force. Because your energy has shifted into overflow, and the universe rewards overflow. Expect divine connections. Expect divine timing. Expect financial upgrades. Expect sudden favor. This isn't fantasy. It's alignment. It's the result of becoming who you were born to be. When you become whole, your life becomes fruitful. When your spirit aligns, your reality transforms. And this is just the beginning. There is still more unfolding. As the days follow this divine transformation, you'll begin to see how strategic every past delay truly was. What you once called rejection will now be revealed as redirection. What you thought was a loss will be exposed as protection. Everything hidden will be shown. Everything stolen will be restored. Everything unclear will now make perfect sense. The dots are connecting. The picture is forming. The light is getting brighter. You are now seated in a position of divine awareness, and from this position, you make powerful decisions. You no longer react emotionally. You respond spiritually. You no longer tolerate what dishonors you. You protect your peace without guilt. You're not just healed, you're whole. And wholeness is attractive to everything you've ever wanted. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. You don't need to chase validation anymore. You don't need to prove anything anymore. Because the transformed version of you is proof enough. Your life will speak louder than your words ever could. Your results will echo what your spirit already knows. You are in divine alignment. You are covered. You are chosen. You are protected. You are blessed. And this is only the beginning of a new chapter filled with glory, favor, peace, and abundance. Chosen one, take a deep breath because you've made it to the other side. The old you is now a memory. The pain, the confusion, the cycles that held you hostage are no longer your story. You are walking in freedom, true freedom. Not the kind the world gives, but the kind that only divine transformation delivers. And because you've stepped into this higher state, your life will never go back to the way it was. This is your forever shift. You've crossed into a realm where manifestation meets momentum. You've crossed into the season where favor is chasing you, where provision arrives before the need, where your name is mentioned in places you've never been. And you feel it, don't you? You feel the weight lifting, the tension dissolving, the resistance giving way to flow. That's not a coincidence. That's transformation completing its cycle. What began as a whisper of change has now turned into a full-body alignment. Your energy, your spirit, your heart, your mind, everything is coming together with divine precision. You are now a vessel of harmony, a carrier of breakthrough. You no longer operate in fragments. You are whole. And now that you are whole, your purpose will unfold with supernatural clarity. Expect things to accelerate even faster from this moment forward. Divine timing is now your rhythm. Destiny is your default. You will find yourself in the right places at the right times, saying the right words, meeting the right people, stepping into the right doors. This isn't luck. It's divine orchestration. Your spirit has aligned so fully with God's plan that delays have been dissolved. What once required effort will now come with ease.